In this lesson, we're going to take a look at graphing linear equations, but what happens if it doesn't look like what we're typically used to? We're typically used to y equals the slope plus the y-intercept. Now this actually does have a name. When we see equations that are y equals mx plus b, that's actually called slope-intercept form. Now the reason we use this is because it's super easy to graph. You take your y-intercept, go to your graph, figure out where it's at, draw a point, take your slope, which is your rate of change, which is your change in y over change in x, and we go up and over and make our next point, and we can reverse that and go down and back and make our next point and connect. That's why we use slope-intercept form, because it's really easy. What happens if I have an equation like this, though? This becomes a little harder to say, okay, well, what is the slope? Is this the slope? Is the slope the number that's attached to the x? What's my intercept? Is the intercept the plain number, the number without a variable? Well, what we need to do is we need to solve for y and get it to look like y equals mx plus b. How does it look like y equals mx plus b? By getting the y by itself. So we can say y equals mx plus b. So can we take this equation, or any equation that doesn't start off with y equals, and can we solve? Well, the answer is we can. Here's a plain y. I want to get things that are attached to it to disappear. Well, I have a multiplied 3 I need to get rid of, and an added number. Because this is solving, I want to use reverse order of operations. So add will always get done first, then multiply. So add goes first, multiply second. So let's get rid of the added number. I have a 2x, so I'm going to add its opposite, negative 2x, to both sides. Negative 2x and 2x cancel to 0. I'm left with 3y on the left-hand side. 0 plus negative 2x is negative 2x. I'm close now. I have a y, but I have a multiplied 3 in front. How do I get rid of a multiplied 3? Multiply it by its reciprocal. This is 3 over 1. Its reciprocal is 1/3. I'm going to do it to both sides. On the left side, I have the term 3y times 1/3. The 3's cancel. I'm left with y. On the right, I have one term, negative 2x times 1/3 is negative 2 over 3x. Do I have y equals? I do. So this is slope-intercept form. What's my slope? My slope is negative 2/3 x. Now you may say, wait, there is no intercept. That's okay. What is the added number? If there is no number there, what's the only number I could have added that is worth nothing? 0. So real quick, if I would graph this, because now it's in slope-intercept form, I would start at 0. I would go down 2, right 3, down 2, right 3, down 2, right 3, and my line would look something like that. Let's try one more. 4 times the quantity x minus 3y equals 12. So I want to get y all by itself. Well, I'm going to have to do some things first. I need to get rid of the parentheses, so I'm going to use distributive property. 4 times x, 4x. I'm going to turn this to addition. 4 times negative 3y, negative 12y, and I have equals 12. I got rid of my parentheses. I want to get y by itself, so I'm going to get rid of added numbers first, get rid of multiplied numbers second. So I'm going to add the opposite of 4x, which is negative 4x. Negative 4x and 4x cancel to 0. I'm left with negative 12y equals 12 plus negative 4x. I want to get rid of my multiplied negative 12, I need its reciprocal. This is negative 12 over 1, so I'm going to do negative 1 over 12, negative 1 over 12. I multiplied the entire left-hand side by negative 1/12. Cancels out, I'm left with y. I have to also multiply the entire right-hand side by negative 1/12, which I'm going to have to use distributive property. Negative 1/12 times 12, negative 1. Negative 1/12 times negative 4x gives me positive 1/3 x. Am I in slope-intercept form? Do I start off with y equals? I do. Y equals. Now, typically what we'd like is the slope to come next. Okay, which term is my slope? The one with the x. 1/3 x plus negative 1. And this now I can graph because it's in slope-intercept form. I would draw my graph, go to negative 1, put a point, up 1, right 3. Up 1, right 3, up 1, right 3. And my graph would look something like that. Again, it is just a sketch. Good luck.